one of those creepy live broadcast advertisements. You knew this was coming. Hey, I guess everything's good to go. Everything looks good. Um, yeah, I'll see you when you get there, chat. Always a pleasure. I suppose that's on transition. Let's just laser ourselves into a computer. Do it. Neat. All right. Let's laser beam ourselves into ooh, this is pleasant. Another rip-roaring edition of Powerblock. I do want to show you some of the new tools. I don't know what this is. Looks like the new Ren thing. We were modeling details of these panels last time, weren't we? I don't want to do that. They have some interesting parts in them, but I do want to actually unwrap a bit and show you kind of what that week is going to look like. And I'm going to, of course, do this spare time and ahead of time so that I can see. Let me move this down a bit. Let's go look at Twitch so I can get a copy of chat. Hey. I don't know who's around. If you are one of the proud few, let's just do this. That looks good. That looks good. Let's open up Maya. And of course, what kind of game show would it be without weird music to listen to? I have a bunch of stuff on Crate I want to review. Somebody's been installing stuff on the wrong hard drive. That's what that means. Let's go up to Crates. There we go. And let me just see all the WAV files are in here. Can I do the ones that don't have the weird Mac like prefix though? Like, yeah, that was great. Thank you for playing. Now you messed up. So I can do it like this. If I sort it by name, all of those guys are gone. Amazing. To think you used to have to do all this. Hey, it's 2Cart. Yo, dude, how's it going? What is this? I do not want to update VLC. What is it? Gonna play even more audio files? No. Oh boy. Alright. Let's scroll on through here. Let's grab an audio off the network. That looks like stuff. I don't know how well that's balanced. We're gonna find out. But we're gonna find out today. Oh, it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite tracks I made last year. Just the tone is right. And I often, I don't listen to my own music anymore. I used to do it all the time. I used to think it was a problem. But then, sometimes I break down and go, I made this because I like it, so it's probably gonna be okay. Dude, what's new with you, man? How you been? My sleep schedule's been all over the place. But that's alright with me. I think we're gonna do some neat and different stuff today. Got James Jerome coming in later this afternoon to do, let's do this. Start with the battery, it's gonna be easy. And I already started unwrapping, so I can show you what that looks like. So we've already sorted out our smoothing groups for this kind of thing. You know, we have a pretty agreeable, smooth surface. I hope all these nice auto hosts, I hope they're having a good day. Shout out to our mega crew. That would be our Discord community. I should go look at the usernames and just be like, yeah, you're cool. You're also cool. Just thinking it too, Cart. Oh damn. What you gonna do? It's my buddy's birthday. I didn't realize how early in the year it was. I think that's pretty cool. Music is loud. Let me turn that down real quick. I could do that from here. Yeah, I don't know what the game stage is like. We don't need to blast my ears out or anything. VLC Media Player has a warning about annoying nin. Or maybe it's just telling me that it's playing annoying nin. Annoying gynecologist. Needs a hard word there. I need a lot of things. But what I might want to do is make a new material that, you know, just something simple, just a Fong. And inside of the material attributes, we'll just sneak our way over there. I can change the color. I just want to make the color into a checker. That's my video about right now. Did I change my address formally when I moved back to California? That's a great question. I'm not sure. I got a new driver's license. I didn't let anybody know, you know, who I didn't want to send me mail in my new location, where that was, more or less. Take this opportunity when moving to clear your contact book. I also kind of want to turn up. Let's go back to those material attributes. I just want to get the tiling of this guy a little bit more. Place texture 2D. Repeat UVs. This is 4:4. Let's just do something like, let's double it, right? Anyway, what this is all doing is opening up this map. You can see we have like a skinned version of our mesh over there. There's a bunch of different problems with it. To name a few, this kind of section. Dude, let me know if the music is okay now. I just turned it down over here. As you can see my little volume nib. Sorry, I pause over the chat from time to time. I'm thinking about you, chat. So I think I might be switching between here 5 and 6, the non-shaded and textured view, because that'll give me a sense of where I can put these things called seams. Where do I want them? Notice that I put a lot of the edges are not like flat. This kind of concerns me. This might be evidence of a face that shouldn't be there. If I'm lucky, it's just bad UV placement. I don't know. I have a feeling this playlist is gonna run short. Should just get it to like shuffle and loop, like just play a bunch of random stuff. Appreciate it. So when I select this object, I can see it's UVs. What are called UVs? We kind of went into that. But I can select those guys and turn that into a 3D selection. Right? So these guys over here, same as those guys over there. But in this window, in my UV editor, you might be surprised that I can only edit those UVs. Gotcha. We're talking about changes of addresses, forms. That's alright. So let's make some scenes. We're going to edge mode. Nice to look. This edge loop. I can see that this edge is connected to these 3 surfaces. Alright, or 4. Jesus, this thing gets around. So this edge is kind of part of all of these things, right? That's one edge represented everywhere possible. I kind of want to re-auto unwrap. If my screen drops out during this, don't worry. These are technical difficulties. It's really just a consequence of having so many different power circuits in the building. And some things needing a considerable amount of power. But I'm gonna unwrap this guy. I want to cut this thing. Or what's it called? It's like a scene? Cut UVs, yeah. What if I can create a shell using that? See, it's not particularly useful. Think about a shell. I'm selecting by shell. We get kind of like the complete bottom experience, and I can separate that out in order to adjust for distortion and things like that. This texture actually repeats onward, and this is like positive UV space, right? 0 to 1 in X and 0 to 1 in Y. We'll use that information when moving 3D models around to determine what normals are supposed to look like when we reproject our textures. We have a bunch of tools like, let's see, like a smooth UV tool basically is what I'm looking for. Switch it over to UVs. What is this tool? Unfold. Unfold will try and lay out this whole map of UVs. That's relatively useful. We could also lay out UVs, right? Which does this. And it tries to get pretty close to having reasonable scale, but we'll still have a few issues. So I could start from UV here and go to shell, I imagine. What? Oh, this is some stems from, I think maybe Brian's? From Brian's show, which is on tomorrow. ADD drumming. Did not realize that was in there. So what happens when you just take a bunch of files? Anyway, the whole point, what I'm getting at is that even if I re-unwrap, we have a bunch of different ways that this can be expressed. Let's, for example, take, what is this, a sphere? So a sphere, as you can see, this blue thing projected around our object gives us this wicked distortion of our flat texture. We can scale it, we can rotate it, we can also change the pitch of it. We can change the angle of what's actually being reflected. I don't want to hear that right now. I can say that because I did it. I didn't do this though. This is a rearrangement of anatomy tracks. Who's in chat? Alright. Anyway, there are different methods, right? What I often lean toward is selecting seams and doing a planar map of them, which are similar to a box map, which is this guy, box projection, right? So now this will take pictures using every one of these planes on the sides. We can scale this box, and that will continuously, if I turn this guy off, you can see this continuously adjusting the layout of our UVs. This is actually a pretty good baseline. It teaches us stuff about how our texture looks, right? What pieces kind of stick together, what makes sense to unwrap. What else we got? I got a planar map that's just looking straight through this thing. There's some games that used to do this, I'm sure. You know, have a really high detail mesh that like smears on this along the edges and the bottom, right? What else you got for you? Cylindrical mapping, similar to sphere, except of course not having a top. Makes a big difference. What? But that kind of combination of using visual tools, these have the same kind of transformations, right? It's for scaling our UVs instead of scaling our projection. What's this guy do? I don't know. Click it. Cool. That was a disaster. But the good thing, I think one thing that I want to nail down or want to describe, if you are never seen UVs before, today's your lucky day. This looks like it just ties all of the faces together. What is this thing called? Create contour stretch mapping. I'm not interested. Not interested. What's this one do? 3D UV. Wow. Grab UVs in 3D port. Waste of time, huh? So. Oh man. Guess my program just decided to stop on me. I can't move the cameras or nothing. Do I have... Alright, let's quit real quickly. No, it doesn't look like it's overloading. Am I getting an echo? No. Anyway. So, enough messing around with those little utilities. We are basically unwrapping a box after all. Oh wow. So none of our work is saved, because we didn't do anything. So the same thing. I'm going to create a new material. This is simple. I'm going to go to the material properties, material attributes, because I still have construction history on this thing, where we did all of our edge adjustment. I can actually delete all of the object's construction history to remove that. So, where is this? Is it modify, delete by type? Delete attributes. See, I can delete a single attribute from this thing. That's not what I want. Delete all by type history. And so now what that does is it clears out all of these guys right here. And that makes going through the actual elements of this thing a lot easier. It's a cube that has been shaped. I can see all of the attributes at once. I'm going to do the same thing as I did previously by putting a checker in place. And you can go further into that detail by going through these nodes. These nodes represent positions in Hypershade, which is another window we have. say rendering editor? Like, where are you? Display. Material texture making. Hypershade. Hypershade shows us other materials in our project. So we can do the same thing in that window as we do over here. They just have a nice little 3D preview of it. There's gonna be a lot of these in there. I should just delete them as we go. Anyway, let's go into. Can I open up Phong from here? I guess this is it. Well, because I'm used to there being more nodes, but I guess this is like a material graph. It's different. Stingray, physical base shader. What we were using for. Oh, cool, moving the light around, doing all that kind of stuff. Anyway, what I just wanted to do was go into, there's another node, there's a texture place node, right? So texture, my 2D texture, place 2D texture, and it places this thing, right? And this is actually very, very similar. Oh, you upgraded this quite a bit. This is very, very similar to what we're going to be doing in Unreal when we're building a material. What file it goes to and what component of that object. So the names have been changed to protect who isn't involved. Anyway, so continue to that file. I'm going to continue to the place 2D texture mode. I just did this before. This one, more density. Because 4 squares are kind of hard to gauge the scale of. And it'll make all the difference in the world. Our UVs that we had before we messed with the file are still around, right? These guys. I can lay out those UVs the way we have them. Nothing's really going to change. I just moved them over. But these are single UVs. You can move them like any other thing. If I find where that guy's placed, I think he's like a side. There we go. So like this section, right? This is great for if you have kind of like a texture atlas and like a certain amount of, like if you're morphing sprites to a model, you can overlap UVs and get some cool effects, or basically save a lot of space by having different types of colors if you're just going to reference that, to make like, oh, these are all, I have this type of, you know, let's say like wood or something, and this is the bark section, so these sections are going to be bark and those sections are going to be, you know, the exposed trim. If I control right click and go to shell, shell is where the next border of that UV is, wherever that projection took place. And that's going to be very useful for determining like what faces I want to remap. So I can control right click and select that to face setting. That gives me a pretty good idea of like, okay, well, I don't want to paint this in such a distorted way. This looks like it was projected from the top, probably. That's not super great. You know what I mean? So now we've got an overview of kind of what those tools are. For me, it's a little easier to just sit back and do it. No one's bugging me. No one's got questions. I love shell selection. Same thing, right? Like that would seem like a pretty good map. I actually kind of want to split these two UV things in half. And also, we can have overlapping maps if we want to get more detail on the battery side. Not a bad idea. Or it's like this and that, right? We get kind of this full view, right? But we don't have this information down here, and that's no fun for nobody. So I guess the first thing they do is just do a planar map just like this. That'll kind of mess with our UVs a bit. We just did this in our last example, but I think it'll make more sense in a second. I kind of want this to be separate. Sweet, like you, right? This top section. Can I cut UVs there? And then let's see. Hiding what will become texture seam is kind of the name of the game right now. It's like you can also become an edge loop, and you'll see it's kind of difficult to see, but that will travel through to the bottom. I might be able to get away with that actually. Keep messing with it. So pick that guy's pair over here. And this one. Cut UVs again. And so now these sides will actually kind of fold out. Well, not really. It's kind of neat. Maybe like a sphere. Oh, I can also change the attributes of this projection. Here we go. Oh, they made this a lot easier too. That's nice. So what axis am I looking at here? Is this X? For example. So now I'm projecting from the bottom. I guess what I'm trying to demonstrate is the That's my favorite type of unwrapping. This guy. So it's like contained faces. You guys suck. Sorry, between the glasses and the screen, that's not ideal pace. I don't want these faces. I've sworn against middle faces. Try to not be middle of the road on issues about face. Shrink selection. There we go. Salute. Dude sneezing over there. Is there something playing? This track just has a moment of silence at the end for the dogs. Awesome. Another way to create UVs is from the camera. I can make something that looks like this thing, right? By just projecting it. If I convert it to UVs, I actually have something that looks kind of looks like what I was expecting. And I kind of want to select the opposite side and do the same thing. So like this guy, I'll put it to UV. Go to UVs, and then we'll take that selection and go to shell and kind of see what remains. So all of these other faces, right? Let's say I want to get the same selection. Convert you to faces and shrink the selection to get pretty much the same thing. We're basically not including this top part, and that's because I don't know how I want it to look. I don't know what I want to do with it. And I don't know is a pretty good answer sometimes. Alright. Thank you. Let's have all these guys, right? All these remaining UVs just hanging around. They do me no good. I can actually get a cylinder. And that gives me a good idea of what that shape is, but it's kind of projected around the wrong axis. I'd rather that we rotate this a little bit. I don't know what to deal with though. Well, center is okay, I guess. But preferably along the top, I would say. Bottom? Bottom has more detail. The top can get away with a noticeable thing. I don't know, just do it. 90 degrees in the X, 90 degrees in the Y. Cool. And so now I have a pretty good looking projection of that space. Don't hate it at all, actually. What does this handle do? Woo! There's still a element in here that kind of weirds me out, but that's okay. Let's figure out where it is on our model. Why would that give us problems? Oh, I know why. Because you belong to this group, and I just didn't select you. So we can do the same thing, right? I can select every object in that collection, and then add this object to that selection. Add this sub-object, I guess. And we could just reproject from there. But that back and forth between your UVs as a selection tool is potentially super helpful when you're modeling. I used to use kind of like the cameras. There's like a little like alignment gizmo. I don't know where it is now. But I used to use that to kind of line up my shots for projection. But the reason why I use camera is because we can smooth that out later. We can make sure our mesh is clean in a manner of ways. Shaded with texture displays on. I don't see a texture display. I see There we go. So back to you. Run UV mode. These are the guys that don't seem to really be lining up, just scale-wise, right? This doesn't make any sense. That's fine. We can just use the same methods, right, to scale. Get those in the same neighborhood. They don't have to be perfectly aligned, but the scale has to be the same. That's why we use squares. So we can put squares in, get squares out. Close enough. And for you, I would like to smooth the UV tool. And so this will take, like, the angle from my camera was pretty, spot on, right? But all of the edges not facing the camera distort. And you can see that they distort in opposite, like, directions based on the point that the camera started at. Which is almost great. But I can just fix that by relaxing those UVs. Wow. That goes a long way. And this is kind of it's like a skinning method. Another way to even get less distortion, as you can see comparing one side to the other, to get even less distortion, we can separate UVs out of the, we can separate UVs from, like, these larger sections, right? We can make new, God, what are they called? Holes or seams, right? Make new shells, they're called. That's what they're called. We make new shells. Whoa. There we go. But now we have a lot more uniform deformation. A few versions of the same beat. Okay, no mind. So I think if I lay out all of these UVs, it keeps the same scale. If I had scaled or repositioned these UVs, we would just notice. And actually, that's not bad, except for maybe use of space, right? And the only other places that I'm kind of concerned about are areas like here. I don't know if we still have, like, some Quixel or multi-sub-objects type of editor, physical-based rendering editor, or shader editor in the building. But that would be probably the best tool for this. Or, like, what's the other thing called? It's like Physics Blaster, whatever his name is. The shell, let's do the same thing here. I want to make sure that I don't have pinching. Like here, that's just bad. You can see how that gets bad. That's getting bad right there. Keep on unpinching. I mean, we of course know the answer. The answer is to relieve these edges of each other, right? Because they're not coplanar, so they can't relax with the same algorithm. I respect that. Let's do this. I'll take, let me see where this edge is. So this is also kind of mapping the bottom, right? As you can see in face mode. Like as I highlight these guys. Anyway. I'm gonna find this area where it kind of turns over the edge. And I want to cut UVs right there. So I can go to UV mode now, and then when I go to shell, I will not have this object connected, right? That's how we break it down. That's kind of it. Also, I should mention that if you are trying to relax UVs, right, and they start to pinch and get all kinds of ugly, you can flip them, usually mirroring them horizontally or vertically. What does that image look like? Is it you? Not pinch. I don't need to do that. I mean, it used to look like this. Flip in the U, right? TV to shell, smooth. Whoa, this top one. But we'll behave differently. I can't remember which flip it was. Yeah, UVs. So now I get a little bit more real estate. It's kind of awkward projection. Technically, this is all still pretty paintable, but I'm looking at this top area, thinking, I don't want that. It's my sound design project. How are you? I'd rather have all of this border together, but this is an issue of modeling from an earlier time. Can I see that edge here? Why didn't I use these for this other project? So I'm thinking about the sound design. Where are you? There? This is the bottom edge? Okay. Let's take that to the shell. And then convert it to faces again. Let me look at that concept. Maybe that'll give me more information about what I can live without. Right? That's right. Modeled off of that detail. We got that detail. Is it Monday? Oh, perfect. Okay. Is there more to this sound effects file? I don't know. Alright. What I'm trying to do now is get this loop. I envisioned it a certain way. Man, I'm dying. Everyone is slowly. I wanted to put this song in a game. I don't know of what though. I guess I need to pull this edge away. Also, these seem kind of disconnected as well. Maybe I can get away with that. See, that's all adjacent faces. If I grow selection a couple of times and then shrink it, then I'll probably get closer to what I'm looking for. Yes, I need to squish all of those faces. Ooh. Whoa. What's this whole... It is a whole assembly? I don't know how you describe it. There's like this paint selection tool. Yeah, I just want to find a way. I want to find a way that I'm happy with this. I think like that might work. Or like this is some sort of hook. Yeah. Break it up. I made this track for a friend. Break it up. I guess this division down the side kind of seems arbitrary to me, but whatever. We're going to have the same, I don't know, problem, solution, issue. Projection from camera. Actually, let's do that like this. Right? I go to UV. Remove. Whoa! What the heck is that about? The shell? Thank you. To faces? Do I have faces like internally selected or something? Does that make sense to you? This seems normal, doesn't it? But I think it just might have to do with the projection. Oh yeah. I think we have discovered a hidden face. There you go. So let's fix that. I'm gonna go to edge loop and merge borders. And just turn that up a slight amount. So now if I select the one, oh, that shouldn't happen. Edge loop. Actually, that should be a sign right there. That I can't loop around. Just on merge. Can I target weld edges? Or like... Maybe that'll be the cleanest way to be sure. If I have one selected, then that happens. As neat as that is, that's detail that I really don't want to keep, right? So let's do that. Oh man, my old SoundCloud tracks. That's not embarrassing. That's the technique. Come on, mouse. Don't die on me this early in the day. I want to go get a battery for you and have it charged. Just make sure that this isn't one of the sixes as well. And what I mean by that is, if this moves down, yeah, it should take stuff with it. So how do we retain our shape? I guess we keep the border, right? Oh, it looks like this whole area might be... Ooh, that's not good. Clean up. Hi. Thanks. You have a bucket of muffins? Okay. If anyone is interested in chat would like a bucket of muffins, I have some to spare apparently. That's cool with me. That would explain a number of difficulties we've had. That's fine. I just don't trust that mesh cleaning tool anymore. This guy. Alright. Let's not talk about faces. I really want faces with zero width. Edges with zero length is gonna only get me so far. And if I can help it, don't re-triangulate. Make sure I don't have those. Yeah, apply. Well, if it works, then it's fine, right? That's more what I was expecting. I don't think it'll mess up our UVs either. Right? At least not that much. Although it looks like I'm kind of chewing away at that thing. But it does get rid of the faces that were sticking out of this shell. So that's positive. Alright. Text messages. It's a Crash Bandicoot sample. Are you calling me? Oh, my dad is. Excuse me, folks.
Test, test, test. I hope you're all ready. Hope you're all ready for the Flippy Monkey fighting game Phantasmagoria. Oh man, Ben's back already. I was gonna steal your limelight. Oh. Was that? No, we got people on here. What are you doing? What does that do? What's that do? Do you want me to hit the brake button? Alright. Just save scene, straight up. Cool. Alright.
Let's go.
Holy moly, the zombies are coming after me. I rock the mic and spray my lyrics into their esophagus. The Parkinson's is partially the reason and the cause of this. Flying batarangs in the air, hope I hit some. My aim is wicked than a broken arm of a shooter. Just trying to curve and bend the bullets, yeah, no Kama Sutra. Beaming vision, seeking demons who are hiding, thriving on the misery. Humanity healthy but claim insanity. The villain with the mask when I'm smashing it is action with a passion.
I am Mastermind, and I have lured you superheroes from your posts so that you will not interfere with my master plot to take over your planet. Earth's largest rocket at Cape Grand is at this moment being subjected to my ultrasonic conversion beams, which will explode it and the entire rocket base. Great galaxy. Now, see the water surrounding the city of Metropolis burst into flame, which will destroy it.
Welcome to our happy home. There's no rocket here.
Maybe he means our little Jay.
Of course.
Batteries to power. Turbines to steam. Roger. Ready to move out.
I'm like the only rhymer with an artillery of bars ready to unleash it on you poor misguided foes in the safeguard of a car. Boom. Ready to bring the fire and the rockets flushing with no jewelry. I'm who I be when the mask gets raided and hated. I patiently waited till you suckers got underrated. Blow, kick goes the freaking hater. Mentioning you on this track, I'm probably do you a nice favor. Messing with the moderator's gonna get your career killed. Like when Luke stabbed Vader with a lightsaber. Or when Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered on the streets, that money wasn't a lifesaver. It turned them into zombies in an alternate reality where Thomas Wayne became the Batman and Martha Wayne was a Joker. She was slimy, made me want to choke her. Blah, back to the lab, writing lyrics, chilling with the spirits who be whispering in me to kill, kill, kill. All you bastards with a rusty nail. With eyes closed, I could read your future like the blind reading braille. I'm so insane, now I'm real cocaine. Rock the beat like the masses be rocking kicks that sick flew with the wings of a fly. Now I'm fly. Took the Green Lantern ring and transformed kinetic energy into cosmic energy. Galactic remedy for your rap sickness is weakness. God.
Let's go.
Or maybe it is. I don't know. Oh, it was Catch Me Like a Thousand Napkins. I'm looking for a heads-up display property. Will this show me... What is that thing called? It is kind of like the tumble tool, but it's from the default view. Let's go do this. That'll do the last face I selected. Though, I guess that's not a bad idea. Because I can still select that group from here. And I can select this face and then repeat that alignment. I zoom out and then go back to the shell here. The face. And then I can use that camera projection again. Move it. Move it, move it. Alright. And let's have a look at what you're doing. So I think that because this is kind of like a cap or a hook, not to be confused with captain or captain hook, kind of billows out a bit, but it looks like something's crossing over here. And the easiest way to get rid of that is creating more seams, ironically enough. Like here. I can cut you. I cut you. And I cut you. And that'll keep the shell the same, right? But now I have information to kind of separate these faces with, just like so. See that? Maybe I want to weld these. I think it's connect UVs. You can average them, you can merge them to center. Where's this button? It's like it used to be a magnifying glass or something. Something that looked like a laser. I think they have a better name for it now. Unfold UV tool, yeah. Oh, it's so. So UV edges. No, let's go to shell. Try optimizing it. What is that supposed to optimize? What the? That looks ridiculous. Weird Eastern European motherboard salesman. 18,000. Of course. The answer was always 18,000. There are more of these gizmos, scaling it vertically, horizontally, and so on and so forth. I'm just kind of weirded out by that top part I can't do anything about. Do I want to cut it and re-stitch something that I like? Not opposed to the idea. To edge loop. It's a utility I don't always have access to. Just crop it. UV to shell. There we go. So now the back and the top are separate. And I would even replane. Warning, file doesn't make any sense. Oh. My bad. UV to shell. Two phase. I must have had a good idea there. I mess with the scale. But I probably should. I'm doing this from the side. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. There we go. I can get you to be roughly squaredular. Alright. WVs, please. Smooth them. Boom. And detail. All details being relative. That's beautiful. Same thing goes with this top part. I want to know what face this is. You know, it's this weird corner thing. Alright. You look like you're gonna belong to this panel, this larger family here. So maybe I'll take that and I'll take what appears to be the face it belongs to. So this guy and that, right? And then I'll go to UVs to show. And that'll include this other side that we don't want, right? Because I want to have this kind of map for both sides. I don't think I mapped the top either, but we'll do that in just a second. Seems like it'll be easier to just do this. TV seems like it's glowing. This TV... It seems like... Wow, I just have a bunch of these stems in this file. So that means I can choose a different thing. I'll listen to that again. Pew, pew. to perimeter of the edge. Cut UVs to contain faces. Right. Go back. I cannot see.
See the bounce? Look at me. Thumbs up.
Cool. So I've separated that guy.
Perfect.
I think I'm actually going to do that again. Because I know this piece belongs to that, right? This little tiny triangle. Every face will be painted. No triangles left behind. I like this song. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to kind of map this flat. Like have this plane and that plane. And that'll definitely be a lot cleaner than treating this whole thing as if it's one sheet, which is the way it looks now. And so if that's the case, well, let's start with the one, right? And maybe take this edge that constitutes this border here. So like this guy, right? And that'll give me a good reason to separate these two hard edges. I think that goes all the way to there. I don't think I've selected outside of this realm yet. Good, good. I'm missing one, apparently. That's fine, that's fine. That's fine. Let's do the same thing, TV, to shell. Boom. Alright, and so now, these two things are separated. And that's like pretty intelligible mapping. I still have unspoken for territory, but we can use that asymmetry in our favor. First thing to do, smooth this guy. Alright, that's eventually gonna happen. This requires flipping. It's because the positive direction in 3D space is opposite the positive direction in 2D space. And so what's happening is when it's trying to average out what that actually is, it's really supposed to be facing that direction. So we will switch that right on over using the Smooth UV tool, and now we can clear up our distortion without having that issue. And this looks about right. I'm not sure about like why these faces are missing on the inside of it. Like let's go to face real quick. Like I really want these guys. And you know. So let's do this. Again. And that's just based on our projection as well. If I try to go to UVs and smooth it, we're going to do this probably the same problem, right? Another way to adjust that is by going through our projection, our most recent projection. Like I said, at this point it's easier to just flip because we know that's what the problem is. But if you change the positive direction of your projection, like this thing is two-sided, one thing is facing negative x, the other is facing positive x, we're just going to flip that around. Now our distortion is good. We have cleanly mapped you, and a benefit to doing this kind of scaling technique is I can get pretty close, like, yeah, you two squares look the same. That looks pretty close to it there, right? And that'll fit, you know, on one side or the other of this equation, right? And so now we're almost done pulling out our details. And then we have this other side. We have a couple more sides. I want to talk about the top, which I kind of left. Right here, you can see it's kind of hanging. This guy. Now that we've separated that, we can actually project it from here. That's gonna help. I haven't heard a lot of these tracks in a while. Man. But that should be this whole cap, right? This area. And there isn't really like a single plane. But I might be able to like kind of pucker it from the top, right? If I do a planar projection, it'll get weird on you. See how it's projecting from the side? And we can actually do this from an angle. The first thing I'll do is I'll rotate it in the Y. Let's rotate it back. So now it's looking at it head on. And then maybe, let's call it a 45-degree angle in what appears to be the x-axis. Right? And so now I have something that doesn't exactly, but very closely matches these things. I might even push it a little bit further. Right? There we go. So now I have something that's pushing through here. I can infer the same sort of information from the top as I did the side. So we're gonna go to UV. Switch over to texture mode. You can see now that stretching is, I wouldn't say completely less extreme, but definitely manageable, because I can now, oh, same problem. The thing is turning inside out. So let's figure this out. It is you. There we go. And that's still kind of problematic. I don't like you. What's a better way to map this? I mean, you could just say, well, that's all going to be one color and forget about it. And it's tempting, honestly. If we look at that, that's not too bad. The last thing we'll have to do is figure out which sections are attached to which other sections. Seems like these guys, there we go, can be more smooth than those guys. Who are the smoothest guys? And maybe that's a little ridiculous. There we go. All right. I wonder if it would be useful to cut along those seams, right? Like that would, the only thing I don't like about that is it's pretty blatantly visible. Though, I don't know, and we can try it on the other side to kind of, to prove the fact, to be the fact that proves the rule or something. The exception that makes the rule. Is maybe including up to a certain point, like see this edge here? That might be useful. I don't know if I can get that detail out of here if I go to edge loop. Yeah. But I think this is also going to be our weird biased side. So that's okay. Something a little bit more. I don't know. It's looks like I have color correction on my screen. It looks like my screen's just a bunch of mess. Honestly. Is that other guy even mapped? Nope. Not by a long shot. And so I think I did this right, because I'm selecting around the outside of that shape. This is what just the kick drum sounds like from a dog track, apparently. Inside air. It's something that's likable. Oh, here, that's pretty good. What? 2 shell. I know I separated you. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that is better. Alright, that's fine. Let's take you to the shell. To the face of the shell. We still need to do the same thing of on this side of cutting it across the bottom. But I think my instinct about this edge that was kind of formed from our cleanup might be the way to go. I'm receiving another phone call. But from who? A number I decide it's not worth my time. Okay, let's see. So, all of you. So this is pretty clean, actually. Yeah. Cool. Give me a planar of that. The more normal planar information it has, the better it is at just deciding what direction it's facing, right? Because this is kind of biased. Well, chat, you've been very quiet. I hope you're getting things done as well. I imagine so. Let's see. These faces sure look squishy. Hey, it's Dog in 3. A La Mulana marathon. Oh, that's a really good idea, Dog in 3. I'm digging it. Jake just picked up the La Mulana like remaster. I haven't played the game before. I still want to get into Risk of Rain. I feel like I'm gonna be playing catch up in one thing or another for the rest of my life, and I'm pretty optimistic about what that means. I can't remember if the other version of this seam had that detail though. So I'm gonna go find it. Yeah, it looks like I cut off. Oh, this one looks better. Darn it. Yeah, it looks like I cut off the base on the other one, right? Anyway, let's get a planar map of that. Or a box? Yeah, something. Go to border edge. Or the perimeter. And we're gonna cut the UVs. And then get the UVs out. Boink. Right? To shell. I'm gonna smooth you guys. Yeah, that looks way better. Cause this whole like top part looks contiguous. I don't know, there's so many ways to break it up. Ultimately, you just have to kind of get it broken up. Get it to where you don't hate it. And I'm not sure if this is like, if you want to find out whether two sides are related, right? Like, actually I have to kind of pick parts that match. We'll get there in a second. Basically, I can pick an edge. And I can see this edge belongs to this guy and probably also that guy, right? Right here. This orange line. It's the same information as this orange line in another dimension. Multi-dimensional math, it's amazing. Alright. UVs to shell. I'm gonna do the same thing. I think this is obviously stretched. I love you, Ra. We just listened to this track. I should just eliminate them as I go. Time is flying. What did I just do? There we go. I would basically want it to automatically detect the angle. If I can adjust the manipulator tool, I should get like discrete rotate. I should get, actually, that's perfect. And then what is that? Z? Let's call it 45. And so it's kind of distorting, right? But I have the information here. That's right. Yeah. Cool. Let's close my tool settings. Smooth UVs. I like it. And all we have to do now is just get it in the same neighborhood as its partner, which we put over here. Yeah, that's looking fly. As you can see, we have a couple of blocks left. But I think we have to get ready for our next show in a minute here. That is good. But I'm gonna take just a couple minutes. I'll clean up this mesh. We're so close. And then we can actually color it and mess with our materials. Get an idea of what our UVs are gonna look like in the future. This is a weird method, I know. But I do it for my sanity, not yours. Let's see what's going on. Oh, do you mean the Wii version or on Steam? Oh, the PC, yeah, this is the Steam version. As far as I know. So Jake just has it, but we should definitely do that. I think we can totally use the leisure stream. Just have a, I mean, that would go on for a while. But have just have a game up. I think that's a good idea, dude. You know, we could like, you know, play it. What axis am I looking at? Here, 45 degrees. It's time to cool down. Negative 45. Look, I'm projecting opposite the normal, or the general normal of this thing. Yeah. The average normal, I guess. I don't know. Just be mindful of your data. That's looking pretty much like I want it to look. I feel like I'd made this decision before. Something tells me that these seams just don't line up. Right, like this one comes out to here. This one goes up the edge a bit. And like I said, asymmetry might be on our side, but if I wanted to do anything in Photoshop that relies on these edges, which is something that I do often, I may not want that, right? Anyway, let's scale it up and see how far off I am. Yeah, see this has this internal structure, right? And it also has a little bit more information kind of crawling up the edge. And so I can either kind of take more from one or less from the other, but that's going to be, right, the difference between this one and that one. Or we can just use it as a matter of pairing. Which actually might be a way to go. Because I know there isn't any distortion, so I can say, okay, well this edge, right, belongs also to that UV over here. And you know what? I'm actually pretty pleased with that method. I don't know that I'll hate it in a minute, but if I can teach anybody anything, no, it's definitely not easy. The game looks insane. And I mean, how do you like trade information? Do people have to watch the history of the stream, right? To see like, oh well, he went over here. I think Jake might have challenged me to like just dead run that game. Like, oh, just do it. Same problem. We can't smooth this UV because it's being flipped horizontally. Good to know. Let's quick go back, smooth UVs. There we go. And that's also another way to kind of keep our orientation in mind. If I put this guy to shell, I'm gonna make sure that there aren't any strange patterns missing, but you know, these things are gonna happen. Our seams are gonna slide around. To UV, smooth UV. Oh, you're good. Alright, so I want to rotate you a considerable amount, because I just know you belong with this guy, right? You match and you match. Great. And now what? I have 3 pieces left? That's pretty good. And also, those things are isolated. I mean, the more large sections that we cut away, the better we're gonna get with, like, okay, what are you, right? Oh, I see. Yeah, I was indecisive about about adding your faces to that group. Okay, what I might want to do is, yeah, kind of what I've been doing previously, right? Just go find, like, this guy, right? This whole shell. UVs. Right, so this whole set, I actually want to expand a bit. If I go to faces, so I decided that we want this, basically just this face added to it on either side. I mean, let's look at the other version, right? There's gonna be the edge and the inside. Of this guy, of this top part. That'll give me a little bit more flexibility, just separating this concave face from my project, from my problem, not my problem. So that looks better. Those things are all included. That's great. Let's planar that one more time. We're going to have to do the same thing with fixing all of that distortion and stuff. Doink, and that's just getting an approximation. Another Dog Boy track. Oh, you can like, you can type, right? There's like a, isn't there like a, there's like a journal or something, right? I like how the game just seems so new, or like, I don't know what the word is, like complete in a weird way. Like overly done. Like this game is just complicated. This game is actually trying to be as complicated as it can. Whoa, why aren't you all connected? What are you? You, what are you? Show me yourself. Are you inside of this mesh? No, you're just not connected. Or you're part of this collection. Let's see. Yeah. Does it mean that there are two faces there? Oh, I'm actually not selecting anything. Alright. So that's how that fits. Oh, that's not good enough. 2UV shell. I guess I could have just like glued these together or sewn these. I think is it weld? I forgot how this thing works. It's a what do they call it? Combine? No. It's a much simpler operation. So? Yeah, right there, right? You'd think. Just, you know, come on guys. You can do it. Yeah, so I think that's right. If I go here, then we're not gonna have that issue anymore. Face, TV. Yeah, it's you. And I just want to make sure that these guys are related. Good. Oy. Don't let those faces get loose. You're gonna have like a triangle missing in your texture. Right. Don't you have to like upgrade it or something like that? It's a great little thing. It's a uniquely complex game. Laying out UVs will put all of this crap in the same space with about the same deformation. I do like to map things relatively close to each other. Let's just go to UVs. I just want to scale everything back up so I can get my pieces out. Actually, can we just like go back to before the UV layout? Thank you. I was doing something. Because these are my remaining parts. It's a great little drum sample. Anyway, I'm starting to run shy on time. Hopefully, you guys get the idea. We have a pretty close to UV mount. We still need to kind of optimize the amount of space that this thing is taking up. Right now, the computer is doing a lot of that work for us. We're gonna render out a projection. Do image, right? I want to render oh my goodness. It was like render UV preview was the name of the old thing, and now I can't remember what that button is anymore or what it looks like. I could probably just search for it too. Convert. Yes, we use this often. UV snapshot, there we go. So UV snapshot, when we're done, will allow us to make, let's say, like a 1K texture. Okay. and we can put a whatever PNG somewhere. Usually I think it'll render it into the image folders. You must select a polygon, a NURBS object. Yeah, it's you. Okay. And then that's going into NewRen Mesh's images out. So that's why project management in Maya is super important. Or knowing where your files are. That's basically all it is. Maya will try and keep all of that stuff together for you. I have to go into documents. I think it's Maya projects, NewRen models, Maya. Whoa. There we go. And then images. And images will have this output UV guy. We'll open this inside of Photoshop and show you how that looks. Just give me like a new, just give me a new file, man. I don't know. Okay. It's fine. I'm just trying to drag and drop it. Thank you. I can't see it. Let's invert that. You just need to be black. Nothing personal. Alt delete, Control Shift delete. Man. Is it backspace? It's fill. There we go. And so this is a relatively low actually image of that map that we've rendered out. And we'll use this, I mean I'll have to change the canvas size, right? Unlink that. I didn't have to make a new file and not care about it, but the idea being we'll have a set of space that we can paint into, and when doing so I want to make sure that I'm using as much of this 0 to 1 space as possible, as much of this texture space that we can see here. Obviously I don't have it on for reasons of visibility. What does that do? Ooh, it makes it all blue. We can also see whether or not those things are actually facing the right way. See, all of these are blue. It means they're not overlapping or facing other things. Let's go to UV. I think it's if you flip them the other way, then they'll face red, right? And also, I think that it'll be easier to tell if they overlap this way. But making sure that your UVs are positive so that you can actually unwrap them properly. I can tell you that we still have some scraps lying around. But we're going to be doing that for the rest of the models this week. Should be pretty quickly. Or a pretty quick process. I mean, I've only been at this for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Per model, I could probably get through all of them pretty quickly. I definitely want to make sure that I only have to do it once, you know. As much cleaning up as I did even in the modeling phase. There were areas where I had to get rid of faces, as you saw, like use the mesh optimize and make sure that I'm not making like a little pile of like my earlier 3D models when I was learning this stuff. You have a bunch of like little, you know, what is this face that's, you know, over here in the corner, you know, this pile of meshes that I can't really see. You really don't want that. It's a waste of information. I know that this guy's here, right? And we can actually go and unwrap that and get that properly set, you know. Pretty useful. This guy, same kind of method as last time, right? It's going to be a planar map. If I go to faces, couple selection manipulations later. But you can see our little projection plane, this tool, is facing the wrong way. Same thing. This is a quick demo, as a reminder. If you're modeling along with me, most of these things will work. Most of these tools work the same way, at least their basics do, right? So I know that Y is not appropriate. And it looks like X is the axis that this thing is sitting on, so let's call it about 60 degrees, right? And you can already tell that this giga projection that we have is upside down because it's red. I really should have done this before. I think by flipping the sign we might be able to get it to be mostly blue. And I think we'll probably have to pull that back a bit more, 90 degrees. And that's actually a really good way to visualize like what is going on here. Here we go. So now I have completely outward facing normals, and that will give me, or outward facing UVs, that'll give me a really good basis for smoothing the UVs, like when I go into shaded view, right? And this is like huge, so all of those textures are going to be really small. But I can still see this distortion, so we're going to straighten that out like that. And we're going to scale it down so that it fits into the domain of, it's kind of hard, like now you see why I make these things gigantic. It's really difficult to tell whether or not your scale is correct. If you go here, now I can compare it to other elements that are in its neighborhood and go, oh yeah, that's about right, you know. Not to mention figuring out, you know, it is kind of a piece that is at the edge of a base, but it's also it's at the edge of this base, but it's also at the bottom of this, like, you know, extension or extrusion or whatever. So this is practically unwrapped, like I said, but I'll clean that up. I'll get a couple more of these done. You'll see it happen. We'll listen to some funky beats next time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for a little bit today. This has been kind of the preview of what you do after you 3D model a bunch of stuff. You unwrap it. Power block. Peace out.
All right. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Flippy Monkey's fighting game Phantasmagoria. What are we doing here? What are we doing looking at a game now? Aren't we supposed to be creative? What the heck? All right. So this is the theory here. Everybody gets inspired by games. And I want to help you to break down different games so you can be inspired to either make games or aspects of games. So if you're really good with sound, as you know, Jake here is very talented with music. And obviously somewhere in his life he heard a game music of some kind and went nuts and thought, hey, let me try that out. We have Ben here who's running out the door. No, kidding. Oh my gosh. Who is, designing New Ren, helping design New Ren, helping build New Ren. And I can say for sure, as a witness, there are many games that have inspired Ben to continue his profession and to build his skills. So today, we are going to go into Killer Instinct. The reason why I chose Killer Instinct is because it is free. Really, it's free. Yeah, it's free. You can just download it. If you have Windows 10 and you're all up to date, download it now. And if you have an Xbox One and you have a gold account where you can go online and do silly things with friends, you can also download that. I believe the Ultra Combo Super Duper Edition number 2, Season 2 is available for free on Gold, for Gold members, I should say. Right now we're doing some work, so the game will pop up shortly. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Because I can't see chat and I have no idea what they're saying. Got it. Okay. Oh. Yeah. It's like you do this a lot. I know, it's like you set this whole thing up, man. Thank you so much. Ben helping us out here so I can see what's going on in chat. And he puts the game back on for me. Thank you. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's look at Killer Instinct for the Xbox One and Windows 10 platforms, if you will. Boom. All right. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Cool. So we're gonna sync syncing to Ultratech servers. That's great. So as we're doing that, we are coming up. Okay, so here we go. We got a whole menu system here. What is going on? There's Shadow Lords. What does that say? It says free rotating fighter. That means he's doing more than just rotating. He's actually somebody you can play as. This is Idol. If any of you have played Killer Instinct 1, you'll know that he was the boss. So that's amazing. You can play as him for free in addition to, I don't know, actually I'm not too sure how that works. I think you can just play as him. There might be a few permanent fighters. If anybody in chat knows, please let me know. So anyway, we got Shadow Lords. What is this? What is Shadow Lords? Let's see. I just bought this game, correct? You're curious? You're like, what's going on? Let me push the Shadow Lords button. Uh-oh. We got continue, assemble a team. Nah, I just started playing. I don't want to get into that. Multiplayer. I could fight local. I don't have any friends around. Exhibition. Yeah, I'm friendless, completely friendly. Exhibition, okay. I could go in and play some exhibition matches. It's going to have to perform a test. We're not going to do that right now. I'll probably do that a little later. You can see how pretty the game is. Ranked League. Don't want to do that if you're a new player. You want to ease your way into the ranked leagues. The lower levels are pretty simple once you get a grip of the game. But once you get into Gold and Killer, yeah. So we're not going to do that. Let's see. Let's just go right to single player. How about that? All right, we got fight here. We can fight against the CPU, which is the computer. For anybody that doesn't know, in fighting games, you can fight against a computer opponent. Shadow Labs. Create the best version of you and challenge shadows of all skill levels. Huh. Well, let's move on a bit here. Story mode. All right, play through the story. Survival. Play endless and rack up high scores. That's pretty cool. That's actually a good tool for practice. And CPU versus CPU in case you want to just, I don't know, have this running in the background. But let's go to Master. So we have a dojo here. This will teach you individual lessons. We have an open practice mode, combo breaker training, which I'll get into in a sec. Exactly. The combo breaker. And the trials, which I'm not sure complete quick challenges. I'm assuming they'll have, you know, impossible tasks for you to try to go into. But let's go into practice mode, shall we? Okay, so let's just stop for a second here. That's a lot of characters, man. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna pick? And why the heck are we gonna pick them? Okay, so this is my advice. For any of you who are new to fighting games, or games in general that allow you to select a character, but certainly fighting games where you have what looks like just a cluster something that of characters, just kind of thumb through them, right? Press A. Oh, there's Jago. What does he look like? Let's look at him vanilla. Looks kind of like a Ryu. All right, that's a Street Fighter. So if you play any Street Fighter or anything, you got your Ryu right here. I'm sure they have a different take on him, but for now, that's a Ryu. We have Saberwolf. Oh, I don't even know what you would call that guy. He's just a very vicious dog. A wolf that has sabers. No, he just has claws that are the size of sabers, I guess. Glacius. Oh, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. Alien guy, looks like a Slurpee of some kind, just frosty, just sitting there. Super dope. We got Thunder. All right, that guy's crazy. We have well, I'm not gonna go into Shadow Jago because he's somebody you got to get separately because I'm super special. I own him. No, it's just because I have nothing better to spend my money on, I guess. Sadira. Okay, she looks like she's all nimbly bimbly, like a kitty cat. We got Orchid. Okay, I can see where they're going with this. All right. Spinal. Skeleton Man. And then real quick, Fulgor, giant robot. All right. So these are the characters we have, at least in the top row for Season 1. Top row is broken up, or the rows are broken up, and Season 1 is the top row. Season 2 is the second row. And Season 3 and 3.5, as you can see, I have Kilgore over there, or over here-ish. He's a whole another bag of chips. So, we're going to go right into practice mode. And I'm going to pick Jago, and I'm going to suggest this to everyone. Go with the most basic character. And I don't mean basic as far as he's simple. But Jago, as you will see, has a little bit of what every other character has. He does everything good. Not great, but good. The other characters kind of branch off from him and they pick a particular aspect of his style and they do it better. Of course, they're not as good in other areas, but they will focus more in particular directions. So we're gonna pick Jago. We can get into the accessories maybe sometime, but that's not really the focus of what we're doing right now. And then we're gonna pick Shadow Jago, his evil twin brother. Because that's just the way it works in here. So here we go. We're going into practice mode. What's happening here? All right, so there's an intro. So this game's going to bring you in. It's going to say, hey, look, there's Jago. He's doing stuff. Oh, and there's his evil brother, Larry, who just never gets out in the sun. Mr. Larry. All right, ready? So what do we do? How does this game work? All right, we got button presses. I'm pushing buttons. Things are happening. But let's see what happens here. Okay, so I can hit them. I can move forwards and backwards. So there's forward and backwards. The direction I'm moving, I'm using a D-pad, so I'm pushing in the direction that the character is facing. I will pretty much always be doing that. I don't believe, let me think for a second here. There are no back-facing characters, so you're not going to get a reverse control, which is good, I think. It can be kind of confusing, but so yeah, I can move forwards and backwards. Okay, I can go down. I can do the duck, and I can do I can do a jump. Can I jump forward? Absolutely, I can jump forward. That's amazing. All right, so that's the mobility. That's the mobility of this character. He's going to move around, jumping all nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree. And this is going to help Do what, I wonder? Let's see. Now, if I can attack on the ground, I should be able to do what? Attack in the air? Oh, I missed, though. What's that about? Okay, so I gotta time it. Can't just willy-nilly just throw these things out here, because he's just gonna whoop, whoop, right? Oh, I can jump over the guy. Oh, and he's gonna face me. All right, so the characters are pretty much kind of auto-correct all the time. There are some wonky situations where that doesn't happen. Whoa. What's going on here? Ah, I'm dashing. So that's a double back and a double forward. Huh. That means I can get in a little quicker. Can I do a run? No, I can't do a run. Maybe that's different with other characters. It absolutely is. But for now, Jago can only dash forward, dash back, jump up, jump forwards, jump backwards, and duck. So this is Flippy Monkey. Yes, Dojin, I am Flippy Monkey. Nice to meet you. For right now, I'm getting into Killer Instinct, and I'm pushing it I'm coming from a position of you're being inspired by video games you play. Let's break down the systems and see what makes them tick. So there you go. That's that. So yeah, so we're moving around. We got some punches and kicks here. All right, that's all fine and good, but the game isn't really telling me too much, right? I got Jago over there. Hold on. There, this one. Okay, I have to do mirror here. So I got Jago over there, and I got Shadow Jago over there. I got what looks like red bars next to him. Let's see what those do. Okay, so that's health. Oh, what did I do? Okay, we'll get into that later. So that's health. So it seems like every time I hit him, and it does different amounts of damage based on how hard I hit him, apparently. So I have it set up where I have jabs down low. This is a jab, or you can call it a light attack. It's really fast. Wow, look at that. He's just smacking. Smack, 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 smack. Smack, 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 smack. Smack, smack. This is like how my niece plays. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And she beats me like this. It's pretty cool. Okay, what just happened? What did I do? Alright, so I move up. I hit jab punch and jab kick. And I threw the dude. Okay, that's good to know. We'll have to make note of that. Definitely have to make note of that. Alright, so do I have a jab kick? I do. I have a fast kick. They don't do a lot of damage, but they move really fast. Alright, so this is a medium, or what I call the average, right? He's got a kick here, does that. Oh, and it changes when he gets closer. Wonder why that is. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. Alright, so then we gotta have a punch. Oh, he elbows him right in the head. He's just like, BAM! Oh, he blocked it. BAM! Let's throw him over here. Oh, no, I screwed that up. Let's put them over there. Boom! Alright. So, bam! Hit him in the face. Isn't that wonderful? Just, and he uses his sword if he's at a distance, so he gets a little extra reach out of that. I wonder what that'll lead to someday. Alright. Punches? Oh, yeah. That's a heavy punch right there. That's gonna put a mark on him. For sure. Kick. Yeah, we got a heavy kick. Heavy kick. Oh, what was that? Okay, hold on. I pressed forward, and I pushed heavy kick. Oh, okay. Okay. This in a game is what we call, or a fighting game, I shouldn't say in a game, but in a fighting game, is called a command normal. Command normals means you're going to have to input a direction on your D-pad. So in this case, I held forward, and I pressed fierce kick. And I get that instead of this. Now, can I do that anywhere? Yes, I can. And when I'm at a distance, that's his single heavy kick. So this is his command normal kick. He does a double roundhouse. Boom, boom. All right. And when you're not doing a command normal, bam, you're kneeing somebody in the head or in the gut, or you're probably kicking them right in the face. So that's pretty dope. I like that. That's fun. All right. So all these things that are going on here seem to be taking health away. But there's also some things going on. Let's see, there's Jago's name, and then there's a bar next to it. And then there's Shadow Jago, and his bar is full. We're going to have to look into what that is exactly. And Shadow Jago's portrait is completely on fire. I have to do it this way, because, then I'm a weatherman today. And then we have some bars on the bottom there. It looks like it's one bar split into two, and it says Shadow. So we're going to figure out what those do. One thing I suggest immediately, after you've played around a bit, punch some things, blah, blah, blah. All all right, is you press start. Boom. And that'll bring us into this menu, if you will. So this is a pause menu. We got LB and RB. Oh, okay, they've tabbed it. Cool. So we got options here. Ooh, theme. I'll change that in a sec. We have, let's see, Jago key moves. Oh boy. That's weird. What's going on here? What's going on over here? This doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you why this doesn't make any sense. Because we haven't gotten into this yet. So we're going to get into this. We have resume and we have command list. Now that's important. What's going on in the command list here? Combat traits. Around the world, Jago can perform consecutive auto doubles. Okay, I'm already lost. In a row to present a button of a lower strength, or by pressing a button of a lower strength during an auto double, successfully completing a cycle of around the world grants Jago a small amount of meter. Interesting. So the example is opener, heavy auto, medium auto, light auto, and then an ender. Okay, that means we have to learn some things about the combo system if we want to take advantage of that, especially since that's a combo trait. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Command attacks. Okay, these are the command normals I was telling you about. So I have a roundhouse, double roundhouse, which I showed you, which is the forward button, right? So forward is always the direction your character is facing. There may be some exceptions. We can go over that maybe later down the road, but forward will always be the direction your character is facing for now. And then red, kick, means it's the strongest kick. It is the strongest kick Jago could ever kick in his life, which is awesome. All right, we have neck cutter. That sounds violent, but fun. And you hold back or away from the direction your character is facing. And a fierce punch, the strongest of the strongest punches. All right. Tiger palm, while in the air, a jump punch that causes a flip out against airborne opponents. I don't know if I want my airborne opponents to be flipping out on me, but we'll figure that out. Throw, we did that. That was both jab kick and jab punch, or light punch and light kick. All right, those are in blue. All right, so we got the lights there. And then we can do a back throw. We can hold back or away, I should say. I should change my lingo here. We can hold away from the direction we are facing and then press both light attack buttons and we'll throw. So that's pretty amazing. All right, so these are just kind of the basic inputs for what looks like to be, you know, things we're going to be using quite often. We're going to probably be throwing quite often. Throwing an opponent is always good, and I'm sure there are some advantages to that, so we'll get into that. Tiger palm, flip out. We need to know what that flip out thing is here. It's always good if you can to write things down, or at least try to remember them and go step by step. And then we have the neck cutter and the double roundhouse. Let's look at the next set here. Special moves. Okay. What are special moves? Special moves are a string of inputs plus a button. That's the best I can give you. You have a string of inputs. In this case, for his wind kick, you're going to press down, back, or away down. So away from the direction and down that you're facing, and away, plus a kick. Now that's grayed out, so I assume that means, yep, and if I look over here, over here, I can see that this can be done with light, which is blue, medium, which is yellow, and red, the heavy kick. So that's pretty awesome. And each one of them have different properties. So we'll get into that because as we're exploring these games and what the systems are involved, these things are going to be very, very important in how you're going to deal with particular situations. The laser sword has the same motion or the same string input, except this time we are pressing a punch, and you can do it with all three levels of punch, so all three strengths of punch. We have a Tiger's Fury. Okay, that's different. Now, this motion, the forward or the towards the opponent, down and down forward, plus any of the punches, we call that a dragon punch in the fighting game community. I don't know why. Oh yeah, it's because that's Ryu's dragon punch. That's the exact motion you need to do, actually. So if you have been practicing that move, which, gosh, I think I was 9 when I first got Street Fighter II. It took me about 2 months on the Super Nintendo and in the arcades to constantly practice to try to do that move. Not just when I was facing the direction of right, but also facing the other direction. Because yes, when you are facing the other direction, you're going to have to reverse those inputs. Minus the punch and the kick commands, you're going to have to reverse those inputs. So that can be a bit scary, but we'll get into that. We have an Endokuken, which is he hurls a ball of energy forward. Okay, that sounds like that's going to be pretty flashy and awesome. So we're going to look into that one for sure. This one is a down towards and forward with a punch, any of the punches. Okay, so we can charge. Oh, here we go. Endokuken charge. You can hold the punch during an Endokuken. By holding it, you can dash cancel, which I showed you. We can dash by pressing forward, or back, or towards, away. And fully charged Endokuken hurls a big Endokuken. The big Endokuken, man, they're just really breaking this down. Just so you know, this game was made by Iron Galaxy. And I believe the guy who does these are the guy Delratch, I think that's his name. It's not his name, but that's his handle. And he's quite thorough, which is great, because you need that for these games. So we have Jago's big Endokuken to destroy smaller projectiles. Alright, so what do we know? We know that the Endokuken is a projectile, which means it's not a part of him, and it'll be seen as a projectile, which we'll get into that again later. And then it also deals additional damage, hit stun, and block stun. Okay, so there's some details in there that we're going to have to get into relatively soon. The hit stun and the block stun are very important. Alright, we have shadow attacks. Alright. Shadow attacks. Let's see here. Looks like they are the exact same as the special moves, except I have to press 2 of the same buttons, so 2 punches or 2 kicks in order to do this. And that's all it really says. We'll have to look into that. Combo openers. Alright. Combo linkers. Okay. Combo enders. My gosh, this is getting deep. Okay, and then instinct. Okay, this is instinct. This is also important. Tiger's focus. I press both heavy punch and heavy kick to do an Endokuken. Oh, the Endokuken is replaced by double Endokukens. All Endokukens heal Jago. If they hit the opponent, Jago gets 2 extra frames of advantage on all moves. Man, this is just, I mean, what is that? That's monkeys. Alright, so we're going to have to figure out what that does. And then we have ultras and stage ultras, which we'll get into for sure, because this is where you get baller and just make your opponent look like a fool, and you have lots of fun. But we'll get into how that happens in a little bit. And then we're back to around the world. Okay, so these are the things that we have that Jago. We now know what Jago can do, as far as these are the inputs we have to do to make him do some of these things. So what else are we going to do? We are going to go into... Well, you can change your controller if you wish. This is my controller inputs, but if you're not comfortable with this style, you can go in and change that. I suggest you keep the all 3 punch and all 3 kick. If you're on a controller, if you're on a joystick, you could probably forego that, because you could just 3 button press and you're good. Alright, and I totally screwed that up by pressing the wrong button, so we're going to do this again, and we're good. Alright. What else? We'll restart. Okay, that just brings us back to the center. Okay, all of these meters are done. So we got the health meters are still full. Those are the 2 red bars up top. That infinite sign there is where the time usually is. But since we're in practice, we're not going to get that. But I can show you that in a mock match. And then we have the 2 shadow bars there, which is great. Those are empty. So let's go back into the start menu real quick. I wanted to show you some other things. Here's some things you can have the dummy do. Now, the dummy is the guy that you're fighting. Whether or not it's an actual person, doesn't matter. They're still the dummy. You can make him stand, which he's just kind of doing right meow. You can make him crouch, and now he's crouching. See, now this is good, so you can see all that hits there. Okay, oh, he's auto-blocking. Why is he blocking, man? What's going on here? Guard auto-block. Let's say no block. Let's do that. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. If you're not close and you do a roundhouse kick and somebody's crouching, you're going to miss. Oh, but you'll hit him with the forward roundhouse. That's cool. And the back fierce. Oh, that's the neck splitter right there. Look at that. That's going to split someone's neck. No problem. Boom. That's going to hit him there. Okay. So we can make jump. Let's see. Oh, we can make him jump. Oh, we can try that. We can. Oh, you know what we can do? Remember that punch move that makes him flip out? Let's go see what a flip out does. Boom. Oh, okay. He just kind of rolls. Boom. Ah, interesting. All right. I think I press. Oh, I didn't set that up. All right. So doing the jab punch in the air, I missed. There we go. Makes him flip out. Oh, and that makes it so I can hit him right afterwards too. So he's on his feet. Bam, bam, bam. Well, what's the difference? Boom, bam. Oh, he just falls down. Ah, I see. I see, that's the difference. So if I kick him in the air, if I can catch him, this crazy guy. I can't catch him, look at that. Okay, there we go. He falls down, but if I hit him with a jab, boom, he flips out and I can still punch him. Isn't that great? I can just juggle him. That's cool. All right. CPU, okay, so I can make this an AI, and it's set to medium difficulty. So what's he gonna do now? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna do something? Oh, he's gonna jump. Oh, he's gonna do an uppercut. He did a DP. Okay, so medium doesn't seem to be very difficult. Oh, what's that? Okay, so I can come in here and I can practice against the CPU without real consequences, and I can have a human player come in if I wanted to, and I can practice against a friend, which is pretty dope. I can record, huh? What would I record? Punch. Punch. All right. Playback. Punch. Punch. Is he just gonna keep doing that? Yeah, he is. See, there you go. So this helps if you want to put yourself in a particular situation or have the computer react in a particular way, so you can practice these situations. I could get into one real quickly here. All right. He's going to walk back. He's going to walk forward. And then he's going to do that. All right. Now we're going to play back. Play back. So he's going to walk back. He's going to walk forward. He's going to kick me. Then he's going to do that. Now, what would that do? Forward. Block. Oh, look at that. So I can practice that particular situation by doing just that. So that's pretty cool. And I'll get into what exactly I did in a second. But that shows you that you can have the computer, or you can have the dummy mimic whatever you've recorded, and then challenge yourself in those particular situations in order to practice getting out of them, which is usually the way fighting games work. You're usually trying to get out of a situation and put yourself in a better one. Combo breakers, okay, he'll do combo breakers. Break on frames, throw break, quick stand, whatevs. Okay, let's see here. Regenerate health, yes. What if I say no? Alright. He's going over there. Doing that. Kick him. Alright, just gonna take some health away from him. Knock him on his butt. Uppercut him. Let's just keep punching him. Oh, it's danger? What's that about? Okay. Oh, and he's... Oh. Alright, so when the health bar is done, obviously you see Shadow Jago got knocked the F out, which is great. Whoa. All right. So we're going to put that back to yes. Shadow meter, normal, instinct meter. Let's put that to infant, or let's do it to refill and see which one that is.